Wow, what a beautiful day outside. Yep, time to sit in my basement and talk about movies. Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching All the World's Worst. I'm Nicholas Purcell. Let's talk about stuff. In 1959, director Roger Corman teamed up with screenwriter Charles B. Griffith to create a low-budget dark comedy movie called A Bucket of Blood. The film is fairly obscure, but it was popular enough to earn a remake in 1995. A Bucket of Blood was the first of 3 dark comedy films created by Corman and Griffith. The second was The Little Shop of Horrors, a movie filmed in 2 days on the leftover sets from A Bucket of Blood and released the following year. Despite its cheapness, The Little Shop of Horrors currently has a score of 92% on Rotten Tomatoes and went on to inspire a musical by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, who are best known for their work on Disney soundtracks such as The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. The musical was adapted into a movie directed by Frank Oz, and there was even a short-lived children's cartoon based on it. To top it all off, there's yet another remake in development with Greg Berlanti set to direct. So Little Shop of Horrors is pretty popular, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Oh no, today we're here to talk about the third film in the Corman-Griffith dark comedy trilogy, a film called Creature from the Haunted Sea. This movie was sort of a side project to another non-comedic Corman and Griffith collaboration called The Last Woman on Earth. Both of these movies were shot in Puerto Rico and featured the same cast. So I guess I should probably talk about the plot and...
Spoilers!
Yes, I will be pretty much giving away the whole movie in this video, so if you don't want to hear that, you should probably stop.
Spoilers!
Okay, we're good.
Spoilers!
We're good, we got it.
Spoilers!
The story is about a gangster named Renzo Capetto's attempt to steal Cuba's national treasury. His plan is to pretend to be transporting a group of exiles and their treasury to a safe haven, but along the way, he'll kill the exiles and keep the money. Capetto leaves Cuba on his yacht with his crew of his girlfriend, Mary Belle Monahan, her brother, Happy Jack, and Pete Peterson Jr., an animal impressionist. Also aboard are General Tostada and his group of exiles, and Sparks Moran, a secret agent who has infiltrated the group. Sparks also provides narration for the film. It's an interesting setup, I suppose. Let's see where they go with it. Capetto and his crew need a way of inconspicuously killing the Cuban exiles, so he decides to use the local legend of a sea monster as an excuse. It turns out, however, that the monster is real, and it too begins to kill people aboard the yacht. The thing is, there's no build-up to the monster's reveal. The narrator says the equivalent of, "Oh yeah, there's also a real monster," and then it's just there. And look at this thing. It looks like the Cookie Monster meets Grimace meets the lazy costume designer. Beautiful. Anyway, one pointless musical number later, Capetto decides to sink the boat off the shore of a nearly deserted island and come back for the gold later. Sparks leaves to make a call to another spy, and this leads to a scene which I believe sums up the humor of this entire movie. So here he is on this island in the middle of nowhere, and not only does he conveniently find a payphone, he also knows exactly where to look. That's actually pretty funny. Not only that, but somebody else actually shows up and starts waiting in line. This is actually director Roger Corman making a cameo. So the joke should have ended there, but as Sparks is leaving, yet another person shows up wearing a suit, and for whatever reason, the camera zooms in on him walking through all the puddles. What? This is an example of the jokes in this movie that start out funny, but eventually just become confusing. Okay, so I should probably get back to the plot, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that at this point. You see, as soon as everyone gets to the island, the movie seems to lose its train of thought. Tostado and his crew dive for the treasure as Capetto tries to stop them, all while Sparks narrates in great detail, even though he wasn't there and there's no way he could possibly know exactly what happened. And for some reason everybody starts falling in love. Pete meets a fellow animal impressionist, and Jack meets her daughter. Some random girl who comes out of nowhere falls for Sparks, and then the monster comes and kills everyone except for these two. Great. The end. This movie is a mess, but considering it was a side project quickly scrapped together while filming another movie, that's not exactly unexpected. I think most of this movie was intentionally bad, and in most cases, intentionally bad movies are nowhere near as good as movies that were actually trying, like Birdemic or The Room. But in this case, I think it works. This movie has a sort of surreal quality that makes it so much more enjoyable than something like, say, Sharknado. Is the movie good? Absolutely not. Do I recommend it? Definitely. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have anything that you'd like me to discuss, review, or read, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, see ya.
Ugh.